Keelan, what do you got for Money Chat today?
You know, I was going to do more of a 30,000-foot view of rates. There's a lot of talk about interest rates right now. And it reminded me of reading an article today. The Fed, just generally speaking, this year, it's going to go up 6 times. Yeah. And then it was going to go up 3 times. And then
we talk about all the previous years, every single year before, same thing.
Right. And everybody's looking for this historical thing. We've been in this crazy bull market, so they're waiting for the correction, all this stuff. And it's been pretty interesting because nobody predicted this whole tariff thing. It's always a one-off, you know. And the experts, as much as we read upon all the experts and point of views, nobody's got a crystal ball at the end of the day.
Nope.
So it's been pretty interesting. We saw with the tariffs negotiations as the rates went up just a tad bit today. And then the Fed meeting middle of September here, they're talking about going down a quarter a point and just kind of letting people know that doesn't necessarily mean that rates are going to go down significantly because the banks already kind of build in a buffer. So it might be just a blip on the radar. And there's possible talk about rates going down. But another flip side of that, too, is the tariffs with China. We're going to get some talks here. And, I don't have a crystal ball, but it makes me wonder if they figure out this tariffs things, could rates go back up? So, I'm not going to necessarily say a call of action, but a bird in hand is better.
Definitely a call of action. I mean, I always say if it makes sense for you to do something now. Don't wait.
I agree.
Take advantage, and whether they go down a little bit more, a 0.25% lower in interest rates is maybe less than $100 a month in the mortgage payment. Now, if you had a guarantee, but what if you missed out on that? So
totally. A bird in hand is better than 2 in the bush all day. And rates are fantastic right now. And even if they were to reach historical lows, we're not talking a crazy improvement from where we are now unless it was something just...
Because we are inches away from historical low.
Right? So, definitely call me, call Tina, figure out where you're at. Call the show, figure out where you're at least, right? I can't tell you how many customers I have, clients that I love, that we're saving them hundreds of dollars right now, and that equates to a lot of money down the road. And the streamlined programs are fantastic. There's a way you can get lender credit, and it doesn't even add to your principal. So it's just literally like a flip of the switch with an FHA. Streamlined, boom. VA, the same way. We love our veterans. Same type of deal. You get a lender credit. It covers all the costs. Your principal stays the same, and bam, you have a new rate and a new low payment, and no harm, no foul. You're sitting prettier than you were before. So keep your eye on the ball, folks. Stuff is happening.
It is definitely happening. Lots of things you can do with that. You can buy investment properties by taking some cash out. You can pay off debt that's costing you more money. You can do improvements on the home, which is going to improve the value of your home. Lots of things that you can do, and looking at taking and utilizing some of that equity. So great news for the industry and consumers looking to get into affordable housing. Washington, in an effort to promote affordable and sustainable home ownership, especially among creditworthy first-time buyers, the Federal Housing Authority, FHA, published a long-await final regulation and policy implementation guidance, which established a new condominium approval process. Designed to be flexible and responsive to market conditions, FHA's new condo rule and the new condominium project approval provide a comprehensive revision to FHA condominium approval policy. In particular, the new policy will allow certain individual condominium units to be eligible for FHA mortgage insurance, even if the condominium project is not FHA approved. Now, the policy begins effective October 15th. So this is going back to what we always used to be able to do, which was an FHA streamline. So again, there are very few condos in our market that are FHA approved. Right now, before October 15th, the entire condo had to be approved for FHA financing. Now they're bringing in back the spot approval, or a single unit within that complex can now qualify. So the HUD Acting Deputy Secretary of FHA Commission, Brian Montgomery, added, today we are making certain FHA response to what the market is telling us. This new rule allows FHA to meet its core mission to support eligible borrowers who are ready for homeownership and are most likely to enter the market with the purchase of a condominium. Now, the vast majority, 84% of FHA insured condo buyers have never owned a home before, while there are more than 150,000 condominium projects in the U.S. U.S., only 6.5% are approved to participate in FHA mortgage insurance programs. As a result of FHA's new policy, it is established that 20,000 to 60,000 condominium units could become eligible for FHA insured financing annually. So as an individual unit may be eligible for what they're calling a single unit approval under the following conditions. The individual condominium unit is located in a project that is not approved. So you're not going to do a spot approval if there's already an FHA approval on that condo, obviously. For condominium projects with 10 or more units, no more than 10% of the individual condo units can be FHA insured, and projects with fewer than 10 units may have no more than 2 FHA insured units. Minimum owner occupants requirement, which makes sense. FHA will require that the approved condo project have a minimum of 50% of the units occupied by borrowers for most of the projects. FHA will only insure up to 50% of the total number of the units in an approved condo project. Now, commercial or non-residential space is limited as well. FHA will require that the commercial non-residential space within an approved condo project not exceed 35% of the project for the total floor area. So overall, it's great news. They want to make sure that they're not putting an FHA buyer in risk by buying into a condo that might be at risk of default because things come into that complex. But it's really great news, especially for the affordable housing in our local market, to get into the condo market. So that's your Money Chat. And coming up next in the Money Hour, what's happening in state, local, and government that matters to homeowners, home buyers, and home sellers. Randy Banneker at Banneker Public Affairs, Clear Path Partners, right here at 1150 AM KKNW after the short break.